that suicide rates are very high. The measuring in this is every rate that is 25 greater or equal to 25 by 100,000 per given population is determined and said to be high. And any rate that is less than 25 per 100,000 of every given population is said to be low. Now, for people who are elderly, 65 and above, it's been found that they have a high rate of suicide as per 40 and greater per 100,000 per population. And in the young bracket, as in the age bracket of 15 to 39, it's also been found that this is also very high. We have some specific related indices or rates that we mention. Across ages, across cultures, affecting both genders and sexual orientation, all social status are affected, race, tribes, beliefs, and religion are affected. And 15 to 29 are affected mostly because of the associated issues to their daily life, which has to do with cyberbullying, bullying, and violence. Theories of suicide. There are three main or four main theories. We only mention biological, psychological, social, and the Turner's interpersonal theory. Biological theory has to do with the evidence that the systems of the body, the functioning system of the body, has to prove or contribute to evidence that leads to suicide. I won't bore you with the details of this, but there's a neurotransmitter or a chemical in the central nervous system that's called the serotonin. It's been found that people who commit suicide post-mortemly and people who aborted the act of suicide, they were rescued, that there is a low level and low levels of activities of this brain transmitter and the metabolites of this brain transmitter. And this was also correlated in depression, which is one of the mental illness, that there's a positive correlation with the levels of serotonin and the metabolites in people who are also depressed. Other evidence for biological contribution is the genetics. You will find that historically and clinically that people who have committed suicide or who have attempted suicide, historically coming through the family, you will find a replicate of suicidal behavior or suicide attempts in such family, historically. The evidence from identical twins and non-identical twins have also supported that if we find suicidal behavior in any cohort and you trace that cohort along the line, you find that there is a reputation of suicidal behavior and suicidal tendencies and attempts in that cohort of the monozygotic twins or the non-identical twins. If you shift places as to you are now looking at them in different environments. Twins, one brought up in another environment, one kept in the environment of nurturation. You also find that there's a concordance, there's a strong relationship of this same kind of evidence, that you find a replicate of suicidal behavior, suicidal attempts in such individuals. There's also the evidence from genetic molecular studies, which has to do with polymorphism in the gene allele that controls the production of serotonin I mentioned earlier. UL and LL. It's been found that when there is a double L in any of those gene alleles, then there is a tendency of having suicidal behavior and suicidality in such individuals. And it also correlates strongly to the levels of serotonin that I mentioned earlier on. If we talk about psychological theory, this is mainly in the brain of psychiatry. The fathers of psychiatry who talked about the three levels of the mind: the conscious mind, the subconscious, and the unconscious, and the connectivity between these three levels. Now, people have a way of having love objects or hate objects in a conscious environment. And this they can also introject, that is, build up a carbon image or a mirror image of the love object in their subconscious. So every societal or every transactional interactions between the love object has a way of also relating with the subconscious mirror of the love object. So if they are disappointed, if they are frustrated, if they are into any rage or anger or whatever with the love object, there is a similar deposition of such emotions in the subconscious image of that. So if I hate a love object, the tendency is I hate the love object that is in my subconscious. So if I want to kill the love object, the tendency is I want to kill the love object in my subconscious. So Freud and the neo-Freudians said that the concept of murder has to do with aggression or negative force towards the self, or killing of the self. And Meninger's theory regarding this has to do with the Greek mythology that has to do with Thanatos, the three-pronged matters of a wish to kill someone, a wish to kill self, and a wish to die. And all about the evidence of psychological theory is that negative energy, negative aggression, negative things to the self. In killing the external love object, it ends up killing the love object in the subconscious or in your conscious. And of course, that one does not exist. So therefore, he kills himself or kills herself. But suicidologists have modified this theory to mean that anyone who eventually commits suicide has ab initio from time, has fantasized killing himself, and has built up an array or a matrix of fantasies that eventually leads him or her killing himself or herself. Social theories, Amy Durkheim in the 19th century hinged his theories upon the integrity of societal values.